Hi everybody, this is Pete Fickinger with the very first episode of the ActiveYards show. And I am very excited that with today's show, we have a special guest, John DiGiuseppe, partner and founder of the Fence Authority, one of our very first ActiveYards dealers. John, welcome to the show.
Pete. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, John, I want to especially thank you for letting us use your office here for our studio. People are now going to get spoiled. Listen, we're just starting this show. Obviously, this is our very first episode. This is the first time I've ever spoken into a camera or a microphone in my entire life, so bear with us. I will tell you that as far as the stage set is concerned, we got nowhere to go but down.
That's right.
There's no question about that. So because it's an absolutely beautiful office. So I thank you for taking the time out of your schedule today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching the show, and go ahead and we'll get started and get to know a little bit about you and the Fence Authority and where you come from. So basically, John, best place to start probably is tell everybody where we are. A little bit about your company first, and then I'll ask you some more specific questions. So,
sure.
Where are we?
We are in downtown Pocopson, and it's really happening place. And the funny story about that is when we opened this business here, people were like, why are you so off the beaten path? And I'm like, I think people are going to find us a lot of other ways than just driving by our place. And so here we are, right? 20 years later.
You knew there was going to be an internet. You knew there was going to be
Al Gore and I were working together on inventing the internet. So here we are 20 years later, and it's worked out pretty good. So who are we? We're the Fence Authority. So when we started this business, our plan was to provide a service to people that would be unparalleled. Yep. We really wanted to. It was born out of the normal mindset of fence installations, and but we knew that there was a good retail business. I had learned from other guys in the business that I used to look up to all the time, and we knew that would be part of the business, but it isn't where we started the business. So, we started building this business out of a warehouse just down half a mile from here, and we started gathering great people, and every person that we gathered, we did our best to make sure that they were on board with the plan, and the plan was to provide a great service. Short of quoting our vision statement, our mission statements and all that, we just wanted to be the best at what we did. And by being the best, we knew that the customers would come, the people would come, and the profits would come.
Did you think from the very beginning that you were going to have more than one location? And I think you have, 3 today? 4?
4 total.
4?
Yeah.
Did you ever have that in the business plan from the very beginning?
Sort of. We had a bunch of different names that we were tossing around back in 1996. One of them was sentry fence, like a big sentry standing there, like a Roman sentry holding and as a guardian, so fences guard you. But we felt, and there was more local names, Chester County Fence, Westchester Fence, and we felt that if we were ever to kind of grow it and roll the company out, the Fence Authority would be a good name. Meaning, the Sports Authority was kind of big at that time.
It was big.
So that was really the impetus for that's
It's a good thing you didn't name it Dick's.
It's a good thing we didn't name it Dick's.
Yeah, so I'm good that you went with Sports Authority. That makes a lot of sense. So, so that's good. So you have 4 locations, and they all in the Philadelphia area?
Metro Philly. So Westchester, Pennsylvania, Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, Malvern, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, Smyrna, Delaware. And
from my understanding, you grew through acquisition. Was it all acquisition, or was there some organic?
So it was both. It initially started with acquisition. So it started with organics. Like, we were just growing the business. And great story. I was driving to the beach one day with my family, and I get a phone call from the current in 1999, 2000, 2001 owner of another business. Mm-hmm. And he said, I want to retire. You want to buy my business? And the answer was, yeah, sure. He said, well, you got to come here today because I want to sell it today.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, well, I'm on my way to the beach with my family. Can I come on Monday? He's like, nope, today.
And people listening, just so you know, watching the show, pay attention to these calls. This company is describing a legendary company, 100-year-old company, right?
100-year-old company. So
Amazing.
I convinced the guy to let me come on Monday to keep my wife and kids happy. And so Monday I drove up to there and we cut a deal. We cut the deal in the yard on a 2x4. We literally had the 2x4 and we were writing numbers on it. And by the end, within an hour, we had a deal.
Yeah.
I think it was really a suffering owner.
And for those of you who don't know, that's Rusticraft Fence Company, and it's in Malvern, Pennsylvania, right? Definitely should Google it, look it up. He's got some great old-time photos on there. I think it's pretty awesome. I did some research.
Yeah.
Take a look at that. It's awesome stuff. 100-year-old company, building fence every day.
Yeah.
All those years.
So that was kind of cool for us. We were able to get all this legacy behind us, and then a year later, another opportunity shows up, and it was a company that you might be familiar with. It was called C&D Fence.
Yeah, I know that a little bit too well.
Yeah, and so we bought C&D Fence, and then by 2007 we decided to expand to Delaware, so we opened up the Delaware store, and then times got tough, and we felt like the pie's getting smaller, so we need to get a bigger piece of the pie. And the bigger piece of the pie was just to keep expanding. So we bought Fort Washington Fence Company, and then the fence guys came into the fold, and now it's all one big happy family, Fence Authority.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, so you have a couple partners?
I do have a couple partners.
Who are they?
Dave Giorno and Steve Lauriello.
Different skill sets?
Different skill sets. The beauty of that is that we all bring something different to the table, and with different levels of intensity. I tend to just kind of run with an idea, and then Steve will grab me and say, "Hold on a second, let's go through slow down." You can relate, right?
Yeah. I wish I had someone like that.
And Dave's very pragmatic, very practical. Always looks at let's take this step, let's do this. And the bottom line is the one thing we have in common, the three of us, is we all want to be the best, and we all want to take really good care of our people. And having that focus of taking care of our people has made a huge difference for us, especially in these days of very short labor.
Yeah,
across the board. Labor, in white collar labor, blue collar labor. Right. It's crazy. So.
Well, it's awesome. I'm going to go kind of with a whole bunch of questions in a row. Sure. I think we'll get a lot of the context of the history of the company as well through this. So, as far as your business is concerned, are you primarily a residential business, a commercial business?
We focus on residential. We focus on residential for the simple reason of you're never really chasing your money. It's kind of like you do your job, you get paid. You do your job, you get paid. Commercial fencing is low margins. It's lower margins, and you're always chasing some kind of money, whether it be government money, which is guaranteed, but still 90 days away. And then there's those, that GC that just wants to pay his bills a little slower than the rest. And we decide to stay away from that.
Good stuff.
It works well for us.
Now, as far as the operation that we see here, and anybody can see on the website at fenceauthority.com, you can see that you have a full service operation. What percentage would you say is your mix between install, DIY, and wholesale?
So we're about So general numbers: 70% installations, down from over 80%. So we're kind of moving the dial on the DIY side. So 30% product sales, of which I'd say they're about 50-50 homeowner versus contractor.
Oh wow, awesome. It's definitely something that it seems like you put a lot of effort into. Now, specifically with ActiveYards, you've been an ActiveYards dealer since 2009, or 2008, because you were an ActiveYards dealer before there was ActiveYards, if I remember correctly.
Feels that way.
And we really do appreciate it. You've been a great partner. We have so many great partners out there. You've been with us for so long. Going back on the history of our partnership and our evolution of being a supplier, what would you say, summarize like in one or two words or sentences of that best describes your experience and your relationship with ActiveYards?
It's one word: partnership.
Partner.
It has always felt like a partnership. It has never felt like a vendor-customer relationship. It's never felt that way from day one, because I feel like we believe that what gets people inspired is inclusion, and we've always felt included in the process of designing and building ActiveYards.
Yeah, if I remember, that was like at the very, very beginning. Part of what ended up becoming the marketing plan that I ran with was ideas that you gave me. So I do remember that. We've had a lot of success building on that early on, even inviting people in here to see the place. We appreciate that. That was always part of the marketing plan, was like an extension. So you've been to be commended. I mean, we sincerely appreciate your partnership over the years.
Do you remember that I didn't like the name ActiveYards at first?
You didn't. It was confusing to you.
It was, because it didn't have the word fence in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So I was like, how are we going to sell this to people when it doesn't have the word fencing in it? And it's worked out pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that. What when it comes to your business, here's a couple quick questions. What's your proudest achievement, when running your business in now your 22-year history?
The team that we've built.
The team?
It really is. Our team, we couldn't do it without this team. And we have, we've been in business 22 years. Our average employee's been here like 16, 17 years.
Wow.
So that's, we're doing something right on the employee engagement programs that we have. It's all about building a great team. If you have a great team, you're going to win the championship.
That's awesome.
Right?
And it's obvious that everybody smiles here. We just had lunch with the team, and everyone was great, and that included all the the shop workers and everything. So that's pretty cool. What would you say today? It's June 2018. What is your biggest challenge today as a business owner running a fence company in the United States? Like, what is your biggest challenge?
There's two things that come to mind. They come to my plate on a daily basis, and one is expanding the team, finding quality people to help grow the team. On the services side of the business, the installation side of the business. You and I have used this term so many times. You can only dig so many holes because you only have so many guys to dig those holes. And just today, I was talking to our marketing director, and my idea was, the idea of the day. Do you think we can find women to install fencing for us? Because they're reliable employees, they work hard.
You get them to assemble fencing.
Whichever.
Yeah.
So
it's a good idea.
So we're exploring the best ways to advertise that and not get ourselves in trouble.
Well, it's interesting because if you look at our factories, I would say that they're probably over 50% women.
Yeah. See. Well, there you go.
In the factory.
Yeah. So that's the thought. Growing the workforce is a big challenge.
Biggest challenge. Yeah, I hear that.
In addition to that, it's kind of funny. We've been at the same level of sales for about 2 or 3 years now, and I'm trying to sort out the best way to grow the business. And I keep thinking product sales is the way to do it.
I think the way to grow it too is profitably. That's the word.
Well, it's always profitably. Yeah, I've always been top line never made a difference to me. It was always the bottom line. So,
well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that with ActiveYards over the next few months. Is really talking about how to grow the business without adding to the overhead. So that's a big part of the puzzle. What would you say is your single most important decision that you've made in the past, say, 20 years with the business that has given you the success that you have today?
So, there have been a lot of important decisions along the way, as you can imagine. Everything from choosing the right partners, to hiring the right people, to identifying, marketing strategies, things like that.
Yeah.
When we partnered with ActiveYards, some good things came from that for sure. Number one, for 2 of our major products, vinyl and aluminum, it went from vendor relationship to a partnership, as we
like you had with wood. I mean, you had something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From my experience being upstream in wood, exactly. Yeah. And it did. And on the wood side, it always felt like a partnership. Yeah. But then we were able to fix that. And not taking anything away from previous vendors. I mean, we had some good vendors we worked with, but there was no protected territory. There was no co-op. There was no branding assistance. Yeah. And in addition to that, there was just no bonding. I mean, it was, the bonding was you went to the fence show and somebody bought you dinner. Yeah. This with ActiveYards, it's
a little overkill. We've done everything.
You've done it all. Took me to Mexico. So anyway, so that was a big decision and an instrumental decision for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
One of them being, of course, and one of them is we learned a lot about marketing from you guys. We learned the good, better, best concepts, which we understood. We had inklings to what competitive advantage was, like things that we tried to do. But then when you have a first-class organization like Barrett come into your doorstep saying, check this out, look at this, you start paying attention.
But
to
we did
detail.
it in context, because you and I back in the day when we did wood fence, we had good, better, best. It was spruce and it was cedar good, cedar better. Like it was, so we always had it. We just never marketed.
We didn't dress it up.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you've done a great job, I think, dressing up your or branding your wood business, to the level of ActiveYards, with Cedar Tech. So
cool.
And I encourage anybody that's out there that hasn't done this yet. John's done a fantastic job with balancing ActiveYards as being the aluminum and vinyl part of his business to branding his wood business as an actual brand of Cedar Tech, which makes the Fence Authority with two major brands so much more cohesive and logical, and it provides balance for the customer, I think.
It does. And what's interesting is, you talk about pull-through, right? We literally had someone walk in here about 2 weeks ago saying, I'm looking for some Cedar Tech fencing. My friend told me that Cedar Tech is the only wooden fence to buy. And
hey, you know how I would tell everybody, I say, don't use the words aluminum and vinyl anymore. Well, here, don't use the word wood anymore. Take wood totally out of the context. So you could definitely go with that.
You take all these different things that I mentioned earlier, whether it be partners or people or products and partnerships, it all bakes a good cake.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Well, it's funny because I'll never forget 20 years ago, we talked about the fence business, and you said, Pete, I'm never going to be the cheapest, I'm never going to be the best, the fastest fence company, but we're always going to offer the best package. And that was something that I thought was awesome. And I think that in our relationship, that's what we're trying to do. How are we looking for time there, cameraman? Doing pretty good on time? Okay. Just a couple more quick questions, just some things that come to mind I want to learn about. What's your favorite thing to do outside of the fence business? Your hobby?
My hobby. Personally, I like to play soccer.
And we got 2 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, soccer?
Soccer. I play soccer. I love watching my kids play sports, soccer. I like to vacation. Love to get away.
Yeah, we noticed that. John likes to vacation in June and July. Now think about that, fence people. That's when John does his vacationing.
Well, think about that, right? When else would you vacation?
I don't know. Well, the best time
to go away when it's cold.
Well, you do your work when you do most of your work when everyone else is not working. Correct. And then as soon as it's time for everyone else to work, meaning sales and installation, it's time for you to take a break. So you'd be commended with that. Listen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time today.
Yeah, it was fun.
I appreciate so much the forum. I love coming here, and I do appreciate what you've contributed to ActiveYards over the years. Looking forward to a huge future together. I want to thank you for watching and listening. This is the very first show, as I said earlier. I hope to have many shows. We're going to probably put out one a week, at least in this format. The next show, we'll see you from I don't know where. But if you want to learn more about the Fence Authority, visit fenceauthority.com. Also follow Fence Authority on Facebook, Instagram. He has awesome videos there. To actually aerials of the shop and the operation. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you have. Until next time, thank you for watching. The ActiveYards show, and who knows, beginning of something big. We'll be talking about the 1,000th episode in a couple of years.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot.
All right. Absolutely.